All right, and as a father, and, as a father, I'm speaking to fathers out there whose duty is to, to protect his daughter, from who? From people like Dr. Michel Dow, right? So a father's role is to protect, for example, my daughter. I would never, in a million years, allow her to just put her on birth control and send her off to university. I mean, that's a disaster. That's a train wreck. You can expect some broken homes and single moms and a whole bunch of family court and all this stuff. It's a train disaster waiting to happen. So as a father, and let's say for example the father would not do this, well, is that his just punishment, right? Is Dr. Dow there to as a type of punishment because of the slothfulness of the dad, right? So the dad is not protecting the daughter, and furthermore, he's actually paying for the. And I've seen it. I've seen this happening. The father is paying for the birth control of the daughter. Wow. Wow, wow, that's really bad. All right, so the father's role is to protect, guide, and cherish his daughter, recognizing that she is a treasure beyond price. That's really true, especially for my daughter. My wonderful daughters. I'm just looking at one here with, in the corner of my eye. I just seen that one, but I have multiple daughters, and that's certainly true. It's a treasure beyond price. Not just for me, but for her future husband, which I promise to you I promise to you that on my daughter's wedding night she will be a chaste virgin. I promise to you. I promise to you. He should be her shield, her example, and her strongest advocate, not someone who passively allows her to be exploited by a culture that devalues her worth. A father's duty to his daughter teach her that she is precious. Right? A father should instill his daughter the understanding that her body, her purity, and her future are not things to be given away lightly. She is not an object for men's pleasure, but a gift meant for her future husband. So protect her from predators. Society and figures like Dr. Dow tell young girls that promiscuity is empowerment, when in reality it leaves them broken, used, and often abandoned. A father should warn his daughter about these lies and guard her from those who would exploit her. So we really, really have to protect, my daughter from this terrible, terrible abortionist Dr. Dow. It's incredible the amount of damage that she could do to a young woman, right? So prepare her for a future of honor. A true father does not encourage short-term pleasure at the cost of long-term suffering. Instead, he raises his daughter to be a woman of virtue, worthy of a husband who will honor her as she deserves. And then they would say, "Oh, the husband will abuse the." Where? Why? Why would a loving husband abuse his wife? I mean, the wife is true to the husband. The wife will bear children unto the husband. The wife will be will honor her husband. I mean, why would he just be drunk and smash her? Sure, it happened with some drunken loser husbands. Right? Don't drink and all this stuff. But for the most part, right, you would not have that. It would just not happen. If she's in an abusive relationship, well, what is that woman? Who is that woman? Is she honoring herself and her future and her purity, or is she devaluing herself for temporary pleasures, right? With the help of abortifacients, drugs which will not prevent the pregnancy, will just will kill the baby after a week or so. And the baby will die. Right? The baby will be conceived, and then the baby will die. So a real marriage, right? The one that we used to have in our society, a lifelong marriage, and there's so many countries out there that have lifelong marriages, right? There's a purity on the wedding night, and the father's role is to protect the daughter. And as it stands right now, I mean, the daughters are taking the birth control. The father is buying the birth control. It's really, really not right. So demand respect from suitors. A father should make it clear, right, that only a man who respects his daughter's purity and commitment to marriage is worthy of her hand. Right? He must set the standard high so that his daughter never settles for less than she deserves. So you can be sure that I will not allow my daughter to just go with any kind of any kind of man, right? I would not. I would never. I would be such a fool. to do that, right? And she's not going to dishonor me by sleeping around, right? And that's the thing too. These daughters are dishonoring their father, the entire family by sleeping around like that. So the ultimate betrayal of a father enabling birth control. A father who buys birth control for his daughter is actively paving the way for her to be used. He is telling her that her purity is disposable, that her body is not sacred, and that she is expected to give herself away to men who have not committed to her. He is ensuring that he will lose his grandchildren before he ever meets them. If she conceives, that child's life will likely be cut short before he or she has a chance to grow. He has robbed himself of his own lineage. So he brings dishonor upon himself and his family. A father should be the guardian of his family's future, not the one who hands over his daughter to a world that seeks to exploit her. Right? He is making a serious mistake here. A serious mistake here. Yes, and I agree that you will have people like Dr. Dow that are exploiting that weakness there, but certainly a terrible mistake made by the father. All right, so the true path to honor. A father's legacy is in the purity, virtue, and strength of his children. A man who teaches his daughter to be a chaste, to honor her body, and to wait for marriage gives her a future of dignity, love, and fulfillment. A father who surrenders her to the world lies to the world's lies loses both her honor and his own, right? So it's very, very important to remember that you will have a train wreck of a disaster if you put your daughter on birth control and send her off to university. And how many times did that happen, right? So she's of course going to be expected to go to the parties and all the stuff and the after party and all the stuff. Yeah, she will get pregnant, right? She certainly will get pregnant, and these abortifacients, these birth controls, they will not prevent they will not suppress the ovulation. They will not prevent the pregnancy, the baby will die. Right, so if father has a special role here, and for many times, he has failed in a wolf in sheep's clothing, right? Which is Dr. Michel Dow. Well, let's certainly exploit that, right? Oh, this father's gonna buy his daughter some birth control pills. Wow, that's a payday for Dr. Dow. Right? This is exactly what she wants. I mean, this is, and there's nothing wrong with the natural fertility of a young lady. That's a very beautiful thing. I mean, the natural fertility of babies are not an illness, right? That needs to be, making a prescription, should be curing some sort of illness, right? So the father's duty is to protect his daughter, and I certainly will, and I will certainly, unless I die, which is possible, that and some terrible people get in my daughter's ears, but I promise that if I'm alive, my daughters will be given. I will give my daughter's hands to the man that I see fit, and then she will be a chaste virgin on her wedding night. That's for sure. And that's for sure. And that's for sure. So my daughters deserve, the best, and she's a really, really wonderful and smart young lady here, my daughter, and I just love her so much. And I would not, do any kind of thing like what we see, right? We see these men, these 40, 50, whatever, however, they will just fall victim to putting their daughter on birth control and shipping her off to university. You can expect that maybe this is his rightful judgment for not protecting his daughter, for being so foolish. Maybe that's what he deserves, right? And imagine, a daughter acting, in such a promiscuous way. I mean, we've seen these women acting so, promiscuous and all this stuff. That's dishonoring the father. I mean, I cannot imagine how I would feel if I would see my daughter doing that kind of stuff. It would break my heart. It would absolutely break my heart. I mean, I cannot imagine these poor men, being so foolish and letting something as precious as your daughter's purity, just go like that. It's really, really sad. It's really sad. This is a sad situation all around, and Dr. Michel Dow certainly exacerbates the situation. I mean, why would you be doing that? Can't you be a real doctor? No, she's not. She's an abortionist, right? So Dr. Michelle Dow here plays a crucial role in this kind of nonsense here. Crucial role not to help the situation, but to make it even worse. Oh, what a what an aggravating factor here. This is right nutty, and it should stop, right? We should be aware as fathers to protect the daughter.